This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
There we go. How you doing, Franco? You doing all right?
Busy, brother. Busy, as you can imagine. This phone is hot right now. It's ringing all over the place.
Yep. I know Michelle reported that it's not a done deal yet. What are you hearing? Is it more about just details getting finished out more than anything else? Or is it still somewhat in doubt that he still could go to Barcelona?
It's all but a done deal. It's just a matter of the timing of when Messi and his camp decide they want to announce it. That's all it comes down to. I mean, if you want to say it's not done because officially it hasn't been announced by Messi or Inter Miami, then yes, it's not officially done right now, this moment in time, but it's inevitable. It's happening. What a coup for MLS, what a coup for Inter Miami, what a coup for the Moss brothers. Inter Miami fans should be through the roof, and I know that they are, but this can't go understated. I just heard part of your last segment there, and the just the impact that this will have, not only for us here in South Florida, but just across the world. This is massive news. It's the news of the day across the world in terms of any piece of news. Almost any piece of news in any country, this will be the biggest talking point today, with Messi's next decision coming to MLS and coming to Inter Miami.
All right, you and I, and again, some of the supporter groups will have a disagreement on this decision and move that they made. But I got to go with my producer here, the man, the myth, the legend that is Sean Stanley, of course. I think he solved the riddle. All right. You can say Neville deserved to be fired. I can say, no, he didn't, because there's a whole shitload of things that were out of his control that were going on with the team. But Sean, I think, nailed it. I think they fired his ass because they knew Messi was coming and Messi wasn't going to play for him. And Messi wanted his own coach. And I think they already kind of knew when they were firing the coach. They knew they were getting close. And some little birdie told them, hey, Lionel would probably like to have a different kind of coach there. And they probably said, hey, let's use this opportunity right now so we can ride our interim for the rest of the year, and then we'll eventually figure out who the coach will be for Lionel Messi. I kind of like that more than the discussion that we have going back and forth on whether he deserved to get fired or not, when really this team is kind of shitty. What do you think about that?
I mean, I would say there's definitely probably some planning that's happened behind the scenes. Inter Miami probably knew. I mean, listen, when Phil Neville signed his 1-year extension, Inter Miami, in the press release and the official communication, never said it was a 1-year extension. This is just what was reported in media by different outlets, which fair. But Inter Miami never came out and said it was a 1-year deal. So maybe there was some planning behind the scenes in terms of lining somebody else up. I would still disagree with the overall sentiment, though, that he was fired at that moment so that the new coach could come in for Messi. Like, if Inter Miami was top of the table, would they fire Phil Neville?
No.
Probably not, unless he resigns.
You can't. That would be bad PR at that point. But
unless he resigns for personal reasons or something like that, and they can come up with something like that. But I don't think that's it. I think, look, last Wednesday at the stadium, Inter Miami lost another home game. The fans brought out the Neville out banners. You could see in videos that were taken, not even by the broadcast, I have a Miami Total Football radio listener who's an avid Twitter user, covers up his profile. It's a picture of a cartoon, but he was at the stadium and he took a clip of Campana on the bench after the bad game he had. And you can see on the side there that there's Jorge Mas and Jose Mas looking pretty frustrated, looking despondent. I mean, Inter Miami hit rock bottom last week.
Yeah, but hold on a second. Campana has nobody to blame but his ass.
Sure, absolutely.
He's the one made of glass. He's the one that can't last. And then he's the guy that could have won that game all by his lonesome.
I don't agree with that.
He had 3 opportunities. 2 of them were excellent. The PK, and then the one immediately that he had in the box that he could have one-timed it, but he held on to it and allowed the defense to close in on his ass. So Campana by himself he should have bbeen frustrated, but only frustrated at himself because he's the one that's underachieving, not
Sure. But the point of that was to say that the video catches Jorge and Jose Mas looking pretty despondent and dejected, and I think with the fans booing and then the Neville out.
Hold on, we got news.
Did he announce it?
Tata Martino has reached an agreement in principle to coach Inter Miami. Your thoughts?
I mean, it's not a huge surprise. I mean, listen, Phil Neville was fine. We're talking about last Wednesday in that horrible game, the booing for Phil, the booing for Harvey, his son, when he was subbed in, and then the next day they fire Phil Neville. And one of the questions in that press conference from a colleague was directly about Tata Martino. So it was like, the stars kind of aligned for this to be the obvious lead candidate. Now, Inter Miami sporting director Chris Henderson was pretty tight-lipped and didn't really give up a whole lot, which I think was telling in that press conference last Thursday. He didn't want to give out the profile of the next coach that they were going to potentially look at or what they were looking for in the coach. He didn't say almost anything with regards to that. So, that led you to believe that Tata Martino, who recently expressed in an interview with The Athletic that he loves MLS, he wants to come back to coaching in MLS. He's a free agent. He doesn't have a team right now since his departure from Mexico's national team. So it always kind of made sense. He has ties to Messi. He's got ties to Pizarro. He's got ties to Joseph Martinez. He's coached all three of them before, and he's a big name.
Nice. I did not know that. That's what I was going to ask you. What's the history here? He coached all three of those guys? Wow. Okay.
Yep. He's coached Joseph Martinez in Atlanta when they won an MLS Cup. He coached Pizarro at different moments with the Mexican national team during Tata's last stint over there. So, he's got ties to a few different players and maybe can get the best out of them. But I think his name, the recognition, his experience in the league, I think it makes him a very obvious choice. And you know what? Probably as close to for using another sports term, a home run or a slam dunk as you can probably get for Inter Miami at this point in time today with the coaches that are available right now. It's probably as good as you're going to get. MLS experience, big name, tactician. You've got, you checks off a lot of boxes.
So what does this deal encompass? What are we talking about?
Which one? Messi's deal? Tata's deal? Which one?
No, forget Tata. I don't care about it. I just wanted the background on Tata. I'm talking about Messi, the juicy stuff. Give it to me. What's the breakdown here? What are we hearing?
So there's a lot of stuff floating out there. I mean, look, the most reliable stuff and the stuff that made sense. I've said this on Miami Total Football Radio, not as information, but just as supposition for years now because it just made sense. Messi's longtime corporate sponsor is Adidas. Adidas is MLS's main corporate sponsor. They produce all the jerseys, the balls, everything. So it made sense that Adidas would always be a part of the equation, and they are part of the equation. Apple is also a part of the equation here, and Messi's going to get a cut of X amount of income that Apple will make from this deal, as well as from Adidas. So, I mean, it was never just going to be Jorge Mas and Jose Mas are paying Leo Messi X amount, and that's what's going to seduce him to come to South Florida. I mean, South Florida has all of its beautiful things and the weather, and
they don't get him that way at all.
So I mean, it was good. It was going to always be a little bit more than that. It was always going to be a little bit more than just the contract offer, and it had to be a sweetheart deal, something too good to turn down. There's expected that he's going to get a percentage of ownership in some team in the future, which is similar to David Beckham, who when he came over from Europe to the LA Galaxy. So it all makes sense. It was going to always be more than just about here's an X amount of money. It's about all encompassing. It's about growing his brand, corporate sponsorship.
Memories coming back like on something. He's there. We got him. All right. So
sure
what were you saying? Yeah.
I don't know. Where did I leave off at?
I don't know, bro. Messi's agent's messing with our signal here. He doesn't want us talking about this. What the meat of the matter that he obviously Adidas, Apple. I'm sure he's going to get a cut from Adidas, a cut from Apple. Is he going to get an expansion team? Because that's $500-600 million right there.
I don't know if he's going to get an expansion team, but it's reported he's going to get a percentage of ownership in a team at some point. I don't know if that'll be InterMiami. It'll be one of the expansion teams that's to come. I mean, MLS continues to expand. They recently announced a new team in San Diego. They'll probably continue to expand beyond that because, I mean, there's no shortage of cities and ownership or owners that are interested in joining the league. So Messi has got a sweetheart deal. It was always going to be more than just X amount from the Moss brothers. So he got a deal that was too good to turn up. It's going to be about corporate sponsors. Apple, again, I don't know if you guys caught this before, but yesterday they announced they have a documentary on him coming up. So it's a bunch of different things. Similar to David Beckham when he signed. It's not just about a contract from MLS. It's about everything else that comes around it. He's going to grow his brand here. He's going to help. It's already probably his financial future for his family is probably already well taken care of for generations.
Please.
But just add on to it. Yeah. Add on to it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. And he could leave a team if he gets one in their in his family. Busquets now comes, right? I would imagine.
I think so. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of talk right now. There's a lot of rumors and whispers that it's not going to be just Messi that's coming this summer. It's going to be, Busquets potentially. There's talk about other players like Luis Suarez, Jordi Alba. I mean, how does that really work though? In a league that has rules, are these rules going to open up now that Messi's here?
Hey, wait a minute. At InterMiami, we have 5 DPs. So no. We make the rules here in InterMiami. Okay, we break into the league and they say you only have 3. We say no. We're gonna have 5. So that's where you're wrong, young man. Okay, they make the rules there.
MLS is a league that makes the rules as they go along. InterMiami got punished for that back in 2020. But maybe this is a turning point for the league because, when Beckham arrived, there was no DP rule. David Beckham's arrival is what led to the designated player mechanism, right? That's what it used to be called the David Beckham rule, just kind of casually. Then it became, it's officially called designated player. So maybe Messi's arrival will signal the opening of the purse strings for more teams or all teams to do more. And if InterMiami can bring 3, 4, or 5 players and help elevate not only themselves but the league in terms of how much spending a team can do, then that's incredible for the sport.
Yeah, but it's not really the team spending it. That's the problem there. It's Apple helping you out. It's Adidas helping you out. And then, by the way, talking about the others that may come, that's very important because I was going to follow up with the fact that if Messi comes here, he's just going to kill himself and do nothing because the team's really not good. So that's why I was going to say that, okay, you're bringing Messi. You better improve this team, bro, because to have Messi and not win a lot of games in the MLS, and we've seen it when Chicharito got here, he struggled big time. We've seen stars come here and struggle in adjusting to the MLS. And so there really isn't a lot of help here for him. And so that's one thing that I am kind of concerned with Messi. What else is coming? Because you've got to tweak this roster. This roster is just not good enough.
No, there's going to be changes. The team that you see today, by and large, will not be the team that you will see a year from now. I mean, the team will be more built around Messi. I'm sure some pieces, of course, will stay, especially some of the younger pieces. But by and large, I think you can expect a lot of pieces to move, if not this summer, then this winter when the season's over. Just to throw out names just randomly. Maybe a Campana gets sold. Maybe Joseph Martinez isn't back. Maybe Gene Mota and Gregory aren't here next year. It's just that those type of draft pieces that are seen as integral to the team today may not be here in 6 months to a year because they're going to build this thing around Messi. It's not going to be Messi plus these guys. It's going to be Messi and guys for Messi. Just like the World Cup. The World Cup, he had a bunch of runners around him. Rodrigo de Paul. There's just a bunch of pieces that suit him and they can best maximize his strengths. I'm sure InterMiami is no stranger to the fact that they need to build this around him.
All right, explain to me and explain to everybody else how this deal, because this is completely different than American sports. So there was a deal talked about that it was going to be between Barcelona and Miami and they would kind of share him. This is not that deal. This is InterMiami purchasing Messi. They own him and his rights, and then they can loan him out to Barcelona, and Barcelona will pay them for using Messi, right? So they will have They will have control of when they can use Messi and when they can loan Messi. Is that how it goes?
That's a rumor. That's a report that's out there. There's also been another report in like the last hour or so that says that Messi has just an outright deal with Inter Miami. That's for 3 seasons. It's also 4 years in a different report. There's so much going on out there. I haven't been able to get a hold of anything concrete, but the latest report is 3 years, and it's only guaranteed for 1 year. After the first year, he can choose to go, and that there's a player option essentially after the first year. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff swirling out there. We don't really have the concrete details yet to say he might be loaned to Barcelona or he's going to be here for a year and then could opt out and go somewhere else.
Well, but
I mean,
it
there's a
doesn't
lot of
sound
stuff
like
swirling out there.
but it doesn't sound like it's an Inter Barcelona partnership deal.
No.
It sounds like it's
No.
an Inter Miami MLS Adidas deal, Apple deal, and they control it. And then if they want to loan him to Barcelona, they will. But if they do, my question is, let's say that is the deal, that they control Messi and then they can use him as a loaner to Barcelona. That would be in their off season, right? It would be after October that at some time he can go, play there in Barcelona,
But
correct?
so it wouldn't make sense because like if they were going to loan
Okay.
him, which was the initial report, they would loan him in August, right, the start of their season through next summer, which then means he misses the tail end of the MLS season, which wouldn't make sense. Then, so if you wanted to loan him after the MLS season, then you're talking what, January through
Right.
May of next year, and Barcelona's going to take him for half a season, so it doesn't make sense. Either you're loaning him for a full season and waiting for his arrival, or you're not loaning him at all. And I don't think they're going to loan him at all.
That's what this sounds like. They're not loaning him at all. That's what it sounds like.
It wouldn't make sense because either he's going to miss a very important part of the chunk of the season for Inter Miami, or he's only going to play X amount of months with Barcelona, which doesn't make sense because they have bigger plans and a bigger season and all the other things that go into building their team. So I don't think he's going to.
And Inter wants to win the cup. You're not going to get rid of Messi at the most important time when you can try to go win the MLS Cup. So yeah, that would make no sense. So, all right.
When TV viewership is at its highest, you're not getting rid of Messi to let him go play in Barcelona. Either the deal is he's going on a year-long loan and we're postponing his arrival till next summer, or he's not going at all. That's what I would imagine.
Wow. All right. The good thing is that this is kind of like adding D Wade, right? D Wade recruits Bosch and LeBron, and then after retirement, he recruits Jimmy Butler. That's actually a good thing now, right? Inter Miami having Messi, that will be a recruiting tool also for other players, correct?
Oh, yeah. I have heard that from people in and around the club that part of the challenge here was that players that were interested in coming to South Florida because it's South Florida, it's Inter Miami, were like, well, is Messi coming? If Messi's coming, I want to play there. And I'll take less to play with Messi. But if Messi's not coming, then maybe I won't go. Or if I do go, it's going to be more money. So, I mean, the power of Messi is going to be remarkable for Inter Miami. Of course, again, MLS has roster restrictions and all these things. So unless they open it up, like I mentioned before, maybe is a possibility, then, I mean, there's going to be limitations there. But I do think, how it was when the big three were here. And the attention that was there, the circus as it was described by multiple people around there.
Remember, my brother, I'm old. I know what the big three was like, and I know what
restaurants
and I know
around
what
the AAA as it was known then that had.
Now, what I was trying to tell you is that being old, I know exactly what the big three is like, and I also know what it was like when Pallet came to the NASL.
So, well, I mean, then you're not old, brother. You're a fossil then. But no, I call
I'm a fossil, bro. What can I tell you, bro? I've been around a long time. I've been around a long time.
You're a legend, bro. You can't be a legend unless you've had time in the game. So, I've always called you legend since the day we met. So, but no, look, listen, it's going to have massive impact economically, socially, from a sporting, it's going to be massive. So
soccer bars in South Florida all of a sudden said, man, this is awesome. We're going to have people come out here to watch an Inter Miami game because nobody's going to be able to get tickets. So,
if you have season tickets, you did well. If you have season tickets now, you did well. So,
bro, I told my buddy who's got lots of cash, I told him 2 months ago, I said, bro, he's coming. They're going to do this. They have no choice. They can't build really a team. So they have to go out and go get these guys so they can help build the whole thing up. He's coming. They set aside 10 and 5. They haven't sold their single game tickets for this. Bro, go buy a bunch of season tickets. He mother effed me this morning. I didn't answer at the moment because I was at Dolphins camp, but he left me a voicemail like, man, you were right. I'm a fucking asshole. I should have gone. I should have gotten the tickets. I could have made a lot of money. And now, boy, whoever has season tickets, man, if you feel like selling those tickets, you're going to sell them for a lot of money. And here's the other thing, Franco. I don't think you can do it in every corner of that stadium, but I wouldn't be surprised if some seats start popping up in the corners of those stadiums, of that stadium.
I mean, there's talk about them moving stadiums because, you know, you're probably limiting how much income you can have if you continue to play at DraftKings Stadium. So there's talk about going to Hard Rock. I don't know if
you can't. You can't. The Canes play on Saturdays. You can't. You might get away with a game or two. Maybe you might be able to do a playoffs or something, but I doubt you're going to be able to do a lot of games there because they've got 2 tenants already there, and then they've got concerts and other things. I don't know what they've got set up over the next several months, but it's too much conflict with the Canes on Saturday on that.
Yeah, and you know the relationship between Jorge Mas and people at that own Hard Rock Stadium it hasn't always been reported to be
Why?
The best.
Why?
You know how it goes, man. American soccer with the pyramid and no relegation and all those things. But listen. Money talks, though. Money talks. Yeah. Jorge Mas might become best friends with the people over there pretty soon because money talks. So
yeah. And by the way, if it's a 3-year deal, he will only maybe play 1 year in the new stadium if they are able to do it in the next 2 years. If they're able to do it in the next 2 years. If not, he may never play in the new stadium. So that's kind of screwed up, unfortunately. But it is what it is. Miami Total Football is the podcast. It gives you all the information you need and insight on Inter Miami. And with Messi coming, you're going to need it. So make sure you subscribe and follow him on Twitter at Franco Panizo. Franco, thank you as always, my brother. You're the best.
No problem. Daily updates on Miami Total Football. Big O. We'll talk soon, I'm sure.
You got it, baby. Be good. That's right. Daily updates. Follow him there. Miami Total Football. Franco Panizo. Good work as always.
This is the Big O Show.